My name is Bob Brennan. So I adapted the script from the original book and I was the narrator. Well, I just kind of answered it actually. I was the person who adapted the book and I decided I would do the narration that was voted upon, and I thought it was a good project to start with. Ugh. I think I'm missing one, but do I know Harlan Ellison? Do I know who he is? Yeah, yes I do. Pretty much, not everything here, not every book, but most of them, and in fact, Jeffty is 5, the radio play, is in this one right here. Harlan Ellison Shatterday, one of my favorite collections of his short stories. So, yes, I know who Harlan Ellison is. Another little fun fact tidbit, when I did the adaptation of Jeffty is 5, I actually firstly did the first draft, kind of repeating myself there, on this Olympia typewriter from the early 70s. And interestingly enough, on top of that, that was the typewriter at that time that Harlan Ellison himself was using. In this book right here, Stalking the Nightmare, there's a picture of Ellison holding this model typewriter. So, sort of fitting that nostalgia feel, going back to the past and doing something with sort of what the author would be doing and honoring that tradition. Genius, exemplary. It's my favorite writer, so I think that says it all. It's a loaded question. It's an extremely emotional story. I think it touches on many heartstrings, and it's a piece that, even though it's a dated piece and it's written in the perspective of 1978 to 1940, anyone can pick up the play, the adaptation that is, or the original novel, and they can find a section of their life, their nostalgia, in the piece. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of things to sort of tie up at the end. Everything sort of starts to hit you, and you have to have a good plan. You have to have a vision, naturally, and there's also that sort of dimension of talent and praying that everything comes in at the end of the day and works. I think that's not just for a radio play, but that's any production. But specifically with a radio play, you gotta focus on that voice. That's what makes it a radio play, focusing on all the voices. And that's why this was fun. Besides adapting it, which is fun because I always like going back to writing and rereading again, working with the direction, working with the company, getting to analyze this piece in a totally sort of different light. I didn't necessarily think I was coming on as the narrator. I thought I could have been the narrator, but when I finally took that role as well as the adaptation, I got to see the piece I'd been reading for years in a totally different light, because now I had to present it to an audience on the internet through this radio play format. The company, 100%. Just the original small group of people in Atlas Theatre Company, even though I hope we grow and we will grow. The few people that sort of took it upon themselves in the rough patch of starting. It was sort of, we're going to do this, and people sort of jumped on from left and right field, and it was extremely organic, the entire process. So I'm going to miss the organic feel to just, let's do a show. I hope we can replicate that, though. I really hope we do. Well, we are doing it again. Stay tuned.